Now, National Harbor, I need to know, is it good to be back for MAGFest? And are you ready to hear about Lucha? Do you want to see death-defying feats from the best professionals in the world? Well, why the hell did you come here? We're just a panel. Calm down. Now tonight we're gonna give you a retrospective. We're gonna teach you about the history of one of the best productions around, Lucha Underground. And to start that off, I'm gonna need my man, Mil Muertes, to come into the building and let us know how we do this. And for his opponent, obviously he has to be debating somebody. This joust cannot be done alone. So, give it up for the man, the myth, the legend, Blue Demon Jr. Thank you. Bow down to the saint himself. Let him feel your emotion. But wait, do we have a late contender? Do we have somebody joining this fight? Is this not a two-way match? Is this unfair? Is this... Mag Shark? Mag Shark is making an appearance! How dare you, sir? This is a sanctioned bout! How could you? How could you ruin the honor and the integrity of the ring? Already we have controversy in the first minute. Blue Demon. How dare... Asshole. I'm sorry, ma'am. What would you like to say to Mag Shark right now as he's interrupting these amazing proceedings?
Fuck off.
Right?
Maybe later.
You know what, Blue Demon? You teach us the history of this sport. You show us why this is wrong. You let us know what we are here for.
If you stop moving, I'll die.
If we can all get past the untimely appearance of Mag Shark, I would like to give this TED Talk about Lucha Underground.
How we doing tonight, boys? Boys and girls? We having a good night tonight? Hell, yes, we're here to talk about some lucha and some equivalently stupid things that go along with lucha.
We're also here to babysit
Stupid
you
but
drunks,
amazing.
so enjoy.
There's a question already. Vampiro is currently fighting for his life against Alzheimer's. How dare you?
Yes, sir, right here.
Promise me more coherent than Matt Striker.
Do we promise to be more coherent than Matt Striker? I'm going to say
you
absolutely no.
You respect him. He is the substitute teacher, Matt Striker. Okay? That man went to school and sort of got a degree.
We will trade all of Matt Striker's philosophy for coherence just for you.
We still won't, though.
Okay. All right. Start us off, Blue Demon.
All right. So the first few slides may be remedial because you're here at 1:30 talking about Lucha with us. But for anyone that happened to stumble in here or was lured by the manic antics of this man, this is not Lucha, all right? If you don't know what Lucha is, it's not that. It kind of looks like it. Lucha is really more akin to this.
There we go.
Lucha is men breaking their bodies for the entertainment of others.
Right. It's obviously crap. It's all fake, but these guys will literally jump off of buildings to entertain you. So give them the respect they deserve.
Yeah, man, this is costume murder gymnastics.
Right. Yeah.
We don't have a union, okay? Zero representation.
So.
Thank you, Vince.
So. It's amazing. Shit,
And a
man,
hell
those are
ago, that motherfucker could only jump off a building 2 times before dropping out of the league for unspecified injuries. All right?
He's also South African. Go figure.
Why are we booing the South Africans already? It's not 2 a.m.
Hey,
Huh?
just saying, man. If they did less Quaaludes, they'd be all right.
All right, boys. Let's do our panel here.
I will continue my TED Talk now. All right, so Lucha Libre is literally Spanish for freestyle wrestling. All right, look, it's late. We've all been partying. Let's just allow for occasional slip-ups. So pictured here is freestyle wrestling, which is basically just Greco-Roman where you're allowed to use your legs. It's really not all that important. What you should take away from this is that Lucha Libre is literally just freestyle wrestling, but in Mexico. So this stuff goes way back, way further than any of you would probably realize. Like the
I should make a point that I have not seen this slideshow beforehand.
Oh yeah, I helped with that.
Yeah.
I drew the hats.
Go for it. We're all wearing masks. Surprise. Anyway, goes way back, like 1800s, way back. And a lot of what you think of as Lucha Libre, like the basic rule set, right? Like the 3-count pins and the 10 seconds out of the ring, and you can't pin a guy on the ropes, all that stuff came about from like the freestyle wrestling version of Lucha Libre. And it wasn't until like the 1930s that like people got sick of seeing 2 men grapple like this and started like hungering for death matches. And around then you got this league, right? Some of you guys may know what this is.
We got some fans. Let them hear it. We got some fans.
Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, originally Empresa Mexicana de Lucha Libre, was like the first big lucha national promotion, right? And they introduced this man, El Santo.
The original people.
Can I get some applause for the Saint, my friends? Rest his soul. God rest his soul.
This man was bigger than like Jesus. He was huge at the time, right? Like he had a 40-year career. He was in like 58 movies. There's a statue of him. Like he was a big deal.
Oh, so he got the full Rocky Balboa in Philadelphia treatment.
He got it all, right? He was the first luchador that really like popped. Like everyone.
Mexico!
Yes.
This man could pop like a live grenade.
Yes.
All right?
So yeah, long career, crazy popular. Random aside about the whole movie thing, like Hulk Hogan was in some bad movies. This man was in 58 movies and like half of them were these El Santo y Blue Demon movies. And they're amazing. Like go watch them. It's like
This is actually just straight
Go ahead.
self-promotion.
we're talking about my father, sir.
Just to give an example, just try to imagine like 2 luchadors, but they're getting haunted.
Solving mysteries. It's like Abbott and Costello had a baby with a wrestling tag team duo, and
Scooby-Doo was in the closet watching.
yeah, like it's great. Like if you can find it, watch it. It's terrible and campy, but amazing at the same time.
So, can you bring back the whole mask and turtleneck thing he's got going on?
Oh, can I bring it back? I'm sorry.
We tried to get him a tactical turtleneck, but as you can see from this impressive array of muscles, we could not find anything to fit him. Let's be real.
There's
people.
no
This
fabric.
Is work. This was a lot of gym work.
There's no fabric on this planet that could hold back those nipples, guys. Like the last suit was adamantium, it disintegrated. He should probably shower.
You think he's kidding? He's not.
All right, so that's the history of Lucha Libre. Again, probably remedial. If it was like educational for you, I hope you take it away here, like at 1:45 in the morning. Lucha Underground, which is what we're here to talk about, was like the first big push. It wasn't the first promotion to feature Lucha in America, but it was like the biggest push to like make Americans care about Lucha Libre. Yeah. It was introduced at. Sorry.
Make Lucha great again.
Hell yeah, man. It was never not
What
great.
do you mean again?
Yeah, well, again.
What do you mean again, sir? It's always been great. In America, it's always been okay, but it's always been great everywhere else.
Yeah, so anyway, introduced at like Triple Mania in 2014. Dario Cueto, if you've ever seen the show, just showed up with like $100,000 and was like, hey, come fight me for this. And like made a dude sign something for it. And they came out pretty damn strong. I mean, like, they really, really wanted to bring in the American crowd, but they had to kind of balance it, because this is El Rey, right? Like, they run AAA and Lucha Underground when they were doing this. So they brought in a ton of, like, AAA talent. You had Alberto El Patron, you had a Blue Demon Jr., pictured here with his personal brand of Full Throttle energy drink, which you can still find on eBay. You had Chavo Guerrero Jr., which... Thank you.
There we go.
I appreciate that I didn't have to give any other context to that. You had this.
Let me get some applause for the Guerreros.
The
old Eddie
whole
T.
Guerrero family, really.
Rest in peace.
Thank
Eddie.
you. You've made me so happy.
Yes. The man on the right, top right, that is Mil Muertes, a.k.a. Ricky Banderas, a.k.a. something else. I don't remember his real name offhand. But he showed up. And he was kind of a big deal, sort of. He was in Impact, I think, at the time, but, like, you know, everybody knows Mil now.
Does that have a mask?
He has the mask. Thank you.
I thought he came in with the mask.
He did, but at the time, no one knew who was under it, because it's Lucha.
Let's do it now.
He is currently in CMLL. Shoot, what the hell is his name? You remember?
It's still Mil Muertes, right?
No. Wait, does anybody remember his actual name? Like, or the name he's wrestling under? It's like something Gabriel's, right?
But he's in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, he's still doing his shtick. It's basically back to like the Judas Messiah version of himself from Impact, but like way cooler.
That's him?
Yeah, that's him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you remember his entrance? He cut his way out of the ring?
Cut to the entrance.
Ah, yeah. Well, we'll show you his entrance when we get to Mil. Right.
Okay.
All right. The other four, right? You got Tejano, the blue-collar brawler. Kind of a big deal. He was sort of new when Lucha Underground came out, but, you know, a lot of tie in there.
He was the youngest AAA heavyweight champion
Yeah.
to date at the time of his debut in AAA.
How
or
old
in
was he?
Lucha
Do
Underground.
you know the age that he won that?
How dare you ask that?
He was 20.
All right. So in addition to all the AAA talent, you had some American independents and like semi-famous people. John Morrison, a.k.a. Johnny Mundo, a.k.a. the best pants in the game.
Don't forget, he was also the Boo.
Yeah, he was a pretty big deal at the time, and now he's back in the WWE. You had Brian Cage from the Independents pictured here in his everyday clothing. And you had Jack Evans, who...
There we go.
Who is an unmitigated asshole.
The Lucha God. So you had all these guys, and they came out pretty hardcore swinging for the fences. But on top of all of just the raw talent they brought in, they also introduced like a fantasy storyline, which is just kind of crazy and awesome. And this is like unique across all promotions that we've seen in that it was super coherent and there was never like one wrestler that mattered more than the story. They could always be swapped out. You always had people coming and going. That's how wrestling is. But there was this like overarching fantasy plot with a ton of production value. And the plot, if you don't remember, was basically there's like 7 Aztec medallions that 7 Aztec tribes have to use to stop the old gods from coming back, which is a pretty high concept idea for a wrestling league.
Best built ever.
Yes, it was pretty great.
It was a fantastic looking belt.
I'm sorry, Blue Demon. You're telling me they are going to stop Cthulhu through wrestling?
Yes.
That's what we're here
Or
for.
they would have if they had not been canceled.
Go back a slide.
Okay, sorry. To collect the Dragon Balls.
They're stopping Cthulhu with the greatest elbow drop man has ever witnessed.
What was that?
It was the first page of Umbrella.
Pretty much. Yeah. So anyway, that was sort of the overarching plot line. Unfortunately, it did fail, and we'll get into the various reasons that it did fail, because it is canceled now. I mean, like all the wrestlers are gone, and like no one's bringing it back.
It's It's
Yeah.
in the same hole that StarCraft Ghost is. It's
Hey, wait.
indefinitely on hold.
Hey, Half-Life 3 is coming out. We have hope. We have hope.
There's always hope. You can find it somewhere.
If
maybe
there's
in your
anything
pocket.
I've learned from my 30 years of experience on this earth, it's that hope springs eternal for no reason.
Just accept it. There's hope.
Lucha Underground was still great. Let's still love it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful series.
All right. 7 Aztec medallions, 7 tribes. What we think, and we're gonna get into kind of like a Pepe Silvia style corkboard drawing here. It's wrestling, it's dumb, but there's like a plot thread you can trace, right? So Dario Cueto and his brother Matanza, who he literally keeps in the basement, they start a temple of wrestling in South LA. Don't really need to explain why, it doesn't matter.
They picked an abandoned warehouse, set up a temple, and was like, we're not paying rent, but you can't kick us out.
Yeah. Squatters' rights is real big there.
Yeah.
Anyway, their family seems to want to bring about the rise of the old gods. So he makes this temple, and this is never explicitly stated. Pepe Silvia, like right behind me, just picture it in your heads. We think he was trying to divide all of the tribes by making them fight for dumb bullshit.
Just a moment, Blue Demon.
The Colossus yell is past.
Okay.
So every fight seems to be intended to like separate the tribes, right? Like if there are 7 tribes fighting for one championship belt, then there's 7 fighters, 6 of them lose. That seems to be the plot. It's dumb. We're not going to try to expand too much more on it, but they're in on this crazy conspiracy to bring about the rise of the old gods. And there's all these weird like side players. There's some kind of like city council person, and like I think Joey Ryan's in on it, but like kind of. I think he mainly just wanted an excuse to get greasy and put lollipops in his pants. What was that? I don't know. He didn't need much of a provocation to do it.
Just saying, man, wouldn't you let that guy flip you with his dick? Who wouldn't? Exactly. It's the most powerful move in wrestling today. Like, look,
Can't beat it. Yeah.
that man flipped McFoley with his penis.
So anyway, Dario offers up this belt with like 7 medallions. We're pretty sure it's all bullshit because like why would he be giving them something that would help stop the rise of the old gods? And like later on in the series, they introduce crazy bullshit like this, which is like the Infinity Gauntlet of Lucha. It's a gauntlet that when you wear it, it turns you into an avatar of like old gods. And at like the end of season 4, they were like getting on their motorcycle to go and jump that shark, and then they got canceled. We never will know how deep they were gonna go. But I would like to theorize that the next season would have been like a Mad Max Thunderdome world where they've just totally departed from reality. And like,
They don't get as long as the aces and eights are a part of it.
yeah, I mean, of course, why wouldn't they be? Did he just say the League of Nations? I have no idea. Anyway, the point is, it could have been awesome. Unfortunately, got canceled, and we can only speculate.
Is it related to the Power Club?
Yes, and no one can prove me wrong. All right, so that was what Lucha Underground was, and now for the remainder of this panel, we're basically just going to talk about like wrestlers and what they did. And the first one is Mr. Cierro Miedo. Yes.
And that's enough.
This man dresses like and lives in a mall. He dresses like every edgelord wanted to in high school, and God bless him for it. Yes. Mr. Hot Topic gift card himself.
He reached peak juggalo.
Yes.
He reached peak juggalo.
Yeah. So he does have zero fear, and he tells you that constantly. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. It's constantly filling up. All right. So stuff you may not know. One, Pentagon Jr. is actually based off of another wrestler. So back in the 90s in AAA, there was this man, Octagon. Octagon had an evil twin, Pentagon.
How did we ever discover Pentagon's real identity? That's the best disguise I've ever seen.
I want to know
no
who
one
made
ever
a
knew.
mask that could withhold that mustache. Look at it.
Yeah, it's luxurious and full. So, Pentagon Jr. is really just like a ripoff of this guy. Question.
Does anyone do a better sling blade than Pentagon Jr.?
Better sling blade?
Does anybody do a better sling blade than Pentagon Jr.?
I think he does the best.
No. The answer is a clear no.
Well, someone said Tanahashi, and I was like, meh.
Well, try
Tana-
looking up earlier Prince Devlin. He had
Tanahashi.
really solid sling blades.
Devlin wouldn't shit. Tanahashi
Yeah,
ain't
Prince
shit.
Devlin, Finn Balor. That was
Pentagon
that was what he
Jr.
was before.
I will go to the grave saying. I will go to the grave. Pentagon Jr. has the best sling blade in the history of wrestling,
Accurate.
and also the dumbest gimmick.
That is very true. I mean, yeah, look, he's a solid wrestler. He's half of the Lucha Brothers. He's pretty good. However, his character is dumb as shit, and let's just all acknowledge that. Why is Pentagon Jr. dumb? Pentagon Jr. is a man who we will talk about in great detail in the following slides. His entire backstory is basically he just wants to break arms and draw blood. Look, I want to see him do this, and we do, and I love it. But if you stop and think about it, he lives in a mall dojo. And like,
Better way to break an arm than with a package power driver.
that's not how he breaks arms, and you know it. So anyway, that's what he's based off of. The other half of this is Mr. Vampiro himself.
Mr. Vampiro.
So, for everyone that is not educated, Vampiro was an actual wrestler before he was like a fat commentator. And like, he was doing this for like 30 years.
2 years are removed from this picture and the next picture. Keep that in mind.
This is Vampiro in like the early 2000s, right? He dressed like the Crow and he punched men. And it was pretty great.
Yeah, that's Sting. That is actually Sting. Sorry.
This is Vampiro before all of that, shown bodyguarding for Millie and Vanilli.
Wait, sorry. He was the.
It looks just like it, doesn't it?
I apologize. Can we stop that? You're saying he was the bodyguard for Milli Vanilli.
He was.
So he's part of Milli Vanilli's downfall. We can blame
All the
Milli
lip
Vanilli
syncing,
failing on
that's all on
Vampiro.
him.
We can't blame it on the rain. We're blaming it on Vampiro.
So from this picture, which you'll have to excuse the JPEG because this is like a photo scan from a Twitter post. That is actually Vampiro. And he was actually their bodyguard. Yeah. Right. So Vampiro was like the other half of Pentagon's story in Lucha Underground. And basically for like the whole first season, they teased this mystery of like Vampiro had a master who was teaching him violence. Like some kind of super violence. It was never very clear, but you know, he had one. And he would break arms to satisfy his master. And we prepared for you a montage of what that looked like.
I do want to interject though. It's time for a master jokes. I can't breathe.
Yo estoy listo. Porque yo soy Pentagon Junior, el cero. Here we go. We've seen this before.
fact that it's 2 in the fucking morning.
Oh, wait. Gender neutral in his arm breaking.
And so,
Give it up for Pentagon.
Old man Vampiro interjects in his latest and greatest arm breaking.
Right.
Jack.
What about Jack? What?
Is there no clip?
Of what?
Him bringing the girls on.
Oh, dude, there's a clip.
Slow
We're
down,
just not
sir.
there
This
yet.
train only
Slow
has
your roll.
one speed.
All right. So, Pentagon gets stopped by Vampiro for what you think is just, Vampiro being like, I don't know, polite and just saying, don't break that woman's arm.
Canadian.
Yeah. He is Canadian. If you don't know this, his name is Ian Hodgkinson, and he's from Quebec. That was Sexy Star. Yeah. I'm not going to argue with these boos. Sexy Star was an unfortunate representation of female, wrestlers. She did not do a good job of selling anything. There were way better ones, and in fact, some of them will appear in this slideshow. All right, so anyway, that happens, a few episodes go by, and then, for whatever reason, they just decide to have this fight, right? Like, they have beef, and they have this fight, in which Vampiro comes out as the voodoo pope.
To the ring after a long absence, almost a decade. A man who first appeared in Montreal in 1985, 30 years ago.
In which Vampiro, a 60-year-old man, gets his ass beat for 20 minutes.
Vampiro laid out here. He's out cold, Matt. Oh, his neck may be busted again. This is shocking. Guys, let's go to commercial here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take an unscheduled break. It turns out that Vampiro has suffered a serious injury. This match is being stopped. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ultima Lucha. If you're just joining us, the Vampiro Pentagon Jr. match was stopped prematurely.
He's not done getting his ass kicked yet.
Suffered an injury, but Vampiro is up. Surely Vampiro can't go on here. This is insane. Vampiro setting Pentagon Jr. Is he going to slam him onto the of thumbtacks on the canvas in the flesh of Pentagon Jr. No way. Vampiro.
This man is 54 years old.
Close enough, you can feel the burn from the mercury.
Yeah, he's bleeding.
Vampiro's skin must be boiling. No.
I'm gonna pause this real briefly. I'm almost positive that's real blood. Like, it just appears instantly.
Just saying, Blue Demon, we went over this. Juicing.
This probably is.
Cutting into the scalp of Vampiro. Pentagon seems to be willing to do anything to satisfy his master. Vampiro pulls up short. Oh my God!
He looks so tired after everything he does. Like he just wants to go home and watch Fox News.
Ridiculous because he's
The ultimate disrespect. Holy fecal matter indeed, Matt. There's no other way to describe it. The whole canvas has been painted with blood and glass and thumbtacks. It's like a demented Picasso. Vampiro at the table now. Oh, what is that? It's a lighter.
Wait.
The crowd want flames, and it looks like Vampiro will abide. The believers are just as sick as Vampiro.
Notice how much they miss him by with that fire extinguisher.
Te lo prometí y lo lo estoy cumpliendo. Where are you, master?
And then the shocking
Calling for his
reveal.
master.
And is this the shocking reveal of who his master is?
We're looking for your teacher. Well, let me tell you something. As your teacher, I tell you. What? You are ready, my son.
That reaction is pretty much what we all have. So Vampiro was the master. And to prove it, he had to get his ass beaten for like literally 20 straight minutes.
It was literally like, taste my blood. It's yours. Also
Right.
has hepatitis.
So weirdly enough, their story keeps going now that he's like, I guess, introduced to true violence, which was a flaming table.
Although the interesting thing is, well, yes, this is a Return of the Jedi cave.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is that the entirety of the time that everyone knows that Vampiro is Pentagon's master, Vampiro is still the announcer.
Yeah, that doesn't stop, like, ever.
And every time Matt Stryker asks him about it, he's like, nah, man.
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't me. Look.
It's canonically explained by Vampiro having a psychotic break. Like, literally the opening episode to season 2 is just like Vampiro in a mental institution. Yeah, he's gotta take his pills.
Which is a terrible and vicious, like, viewing of mental health. But also true.
Yeah. That's what they went with. Anyway, so later on they like continue this weird ass storyline, and Pentagon goes into like a Jedi cave from Empire and fights 15 clones of himself, and the last clone, yeah, it's really like 15, but it's Lucha, so it's like not done great. It's just a strobe light and a bunch of guys in a Pentagon mask. Anyway, the last one he fights is Vampiro, and Vampiro makes him blow out a candle and call himself Dark Pentagon, or Pentagon Dark, but we always just call him Dark P.
We call him Dark P because he has Dark P. He should see a doctor, but wrestlers don't have health insurance.
Yeah.
So
It's a rough gig. Anyway, the conclusion of their whole storyline is that, like, Pentagon has to fight Matanza, and Vampiro throws a bat into the ring, and somehow Vampiro causes Pentagon to lose by doing this, and he gets mad and hits Vampiro with it, and says, "You're no longer my master." And Vampiro, even after this, is still just the announcer for Lucha Underground, and they just never mention this again.
They don't mention him
wonderfully
getting
dumb.
hit with a bat.
There might be like a toss-away line here and there where Matt Stryker's like, "Vamp, you remember that one time that Vampiro totally beat the shit out of you?" And he's like, "No, I don't remember that." Exactly. And unfortunately,
Wow.
it is unfortunately, it is the actual reality of Vampiro, because in our "Where Are They Now" slide, Vampiro really does have Alzheimer's.
We have a question in the
Yeah.
back. Please don't offer the Alzheimer's. Oh, it's so sad. Question back here.
It's not so much a question. I just want to take a moment to respect the fact that Matt Stryker is the best commentator of any wrestling.
Matt Stryker has dropped philosophical knowledge on me that I still to this day do not understand.
Sir, that is too spicy of a take for this panel. This is a Christian Minecraft server. You're gonna have to calm down. We have another question in the back.
Put your hat on, Shark Man.
It's hot. I can't breathe. Fuck you.
Fucking do it, Max Shark.
Both wrestlers can't watch the TV show because there isn't canonically the TV show.
I mean, yeah. like,
Yes. So unlike
Canonically,
Raw,
it's real, and we should all just acknowledge that the old gods are coming.
there is no in between each episode. There isn't like a story unfolding in between each episode. Each episode is supposed to be taken as a sequential event.
Yeah, pretty much. You just accept it.
Yeah, like everyone just ignores the crane and the boom mic.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a wrestling promotion. Like, Dario Cueto calls himself the best promoter. So it's still wrestling, but there's like an ulterior motive. So, anyway, back to the where are they now? Vampiro, as I mentioned, does actually have Alzheimer's. It's kind of sad, but sort of understandable. I mean, the guy's been hit in the head for like 30 years. Like, some damage was done. He's still around. He apparently has like a band that he plays with in Vegas. So if you're ever down on the strip, like the old strip, not the good one, he might be in a dive bar near you. Just go hang out with him. And follow him on Facebook, because his posts are crazy.
He also is somehow the head of the Mexico City chapter of the Guardian Angels.
Yeah.
For
Right?
For the uninitiated, the Guardian Angels are a biker gang. Somehow, this Alzheimer's-ridden old man leads an entire capital city's worth of bikers.
I saw some of the band.
It's madness. Everything that we're talking about is madness.
Pentagon is still wrestling. He's in AEW now. He is one half of the Lucha Brothers, which, if you didn't know, Phoenix is his actual brother, like in real life.
That's a fact.
It is. And it's weird when you, like, watch Lucha.
Well, yeah. Why is it weird that Phoenix is his brother in Lucha? Can you elaborate on that?
Because Phoenix is a baby face, and
Pentagon's like kind of a super heel. Like,
Yeah, he's got that new. He was given the Lucha violence.
Yeah.
So baby faces aren't allowed.
Say that again? I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Oh, so we gotta.
I mean, yeah. The weirder part is, like, they were the Lucha Brothers in AAA. Again, they didn't have like that title, I think, but like they were brothers before, and then Lucha happened, and then they're brothers again. It's kind of like a weird fork in the road. Like, they got to their teens, and one of them got real edgy.
We have one question back here.
I didn't watch Lucha Underground in its entirety. I saw it in pieces. Were Phoenix and Pentagon feuding at one point?
Were Phoenix and Pentagon feuding? I believe that's handled later in this presentation, correct?
No, not exactly. So Phoenix and Pentagon never had like a super beef. I mean, they fought, and I can't remember. Did he ever try to break his arm? He tries to break a lot of arms, if you hadn't guessed.
Were they acknowledged as brothers?
No, they do not
Never.
acknowledge that. Yeah. So yeah, those are those guys. The next pair we're going to talk about is probably our favorite pair. Unfortunately, not Luchasaurus. Mil
Muertes.
the big man, the bad man, the man of 1,000 deaths, Mil Muertes. This man wrestles under Captain Remains. He covered earlier. Ricky Banderas,
Judas Macias.
When he comes to Lucha Underground, he is Mil Muertes. He's the man of 1,000 deaths. And anyone who refuses to die when he tells them to fills him with a homicidal rage.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
He's got some kind of weird girlfriend / dominatrix named Katrina who she has the most depth to character. I don't think I could explain anything beyond what she does in the ring, which is lick people. Like, literally. Every time Mil puts a man into a flatliner and drops him, she licks his face. It makes no sense, and it doesn't have to. It's wrestling. But it's awesome. He's also got these, like, 3 dudes that sometimes show up. We just call them the Party City Boys because those masks are, like, straight out of Party City.
His ultimate nemesis is a man many of you know by the name of Phoenix.
Yeah. So Phoenix would walk on every time and do this shtick. He would just like go woof and shoot something out of his mouth all over the crowd. Everyone seemed to like it, like it was definitely consensual, but it was objectively very creepy.
I don't know if Triple H
Oh yeah,
spat that far.
she was saying didn't Triple H used to do the same thing?
Yeah.
Also, didn't Draco just have like magical dragon breath?
Drago.
So Drago does canonically have dragon breath. Unfortunately, they never do anything with that. The most you see is like a fruit roll-up tongue that just hangs out of his mouth sometimes. That's how you know he's a dragon. Yeah, I mean, they're tasty. It looks like a black raspberry one, too.
Oh,
yeah, he did fly. He does have one.
So, Phoenix, despite being an incredibly gifted young luchador,
Yeah.
he's an incredibly gifted athlete, has a fighting style in Lucha Underground that can only be described as Homer Simpson's.
This dude has crazy moves. He will fly off of anything, but his strategy is basically just to get beaten and pinned and pinned and pinned until the other guy like wears out, and then he pins him and wins. Yeah, I mean that's his finisher, but it only comes after like 15 minutes of just getting dominated by somebody else.
So John Cena circa 20 teens.
More like Shawn Michaels in the 80s. Like an 80s Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. All right.
So, Mil Muertes is a big man now, beginning of season 2, because Dario Cueto has left the temple.
I mean, he's run out of the temple.
He leaves for a reason. It's not a reason we're given, but it's a reason. Yeah, supposedly. Katrina takes over the temple, and such. Mil Muertes becomes king shit.
Yeah, like he literally has a throne for the first 10 episodes of that season. He's just sitting there watching.
Which he deserves.
Yeah, he does. Thank you for recognizing that. So, they have, like, Mil and Phoenix have, like, an extensive backstory in which they take each other to death matches and something called grave consequences, which is something that Dario Cueto invented, where the first guy to get put into a coffin dies.
It's a coffin match.
Like,
yeah.
casket, coffin, whatever, man. It's a thing you put dead bodies in. So, okay, what is the difference? I
Yeah,
honestly
wait,
don't
no.
know.
You can't leave us like that. What's the difference?
A casket is the more big boxy one, and the coffin is the one that's more your body.
So like a
Oh.
casket's a fancy one.
There's a nice step on YouTube called Ask a Mortician.
Nice. I'm pretty sure casket.
You have enriched my life in unexpected ways.
Slight plug for. Sorry. We have one more question here.
My God, I did not realize how many of you would know the answer to this question. I took it. All right. So anyway, they have this like whole backstory. They do all this crazy shit. Canonically, when someone gets put into the casket, right? Yes.
They are dead.
They are dead, right? So Mil gets put into a casket twice by Phoenix, and like these are long ass matches.
998 more.
Right. He's got a lot of deaths under his belt. Most of them are other men's. I don't think he's expecting it to be his. But eventually they have like this fight to the death. And we've got a clip of that.
Wherein Mil Muertes just beats the piss out of this young
Introducing
man.
first, from Mexico City, Mexico, Phoenix!
Ray Phoenix was AAA. He never did that here.
Here comes the man of 1,000 lives. Phoenix thought he had rid the temple of his arch enemy, Mil Muertes.
Gross.
But Mil has returned from beyond the grave, and the forces of life and death continue their eternal conflict tonight.
And his opponent, from beyond the grave, Mil Muertes!
Vamp, for months, Mil Muertes rode a...
He is Undertaker if Undertaker was just like way more buff.
Wait, does that make
Does that make
Katarina pallbearer? I don't know how I feel about that, y'all. No. Yeah, no. No.
Until he ran into Phoenix. What type of Mil Muertes?
She has
Yeah,
the.
we should mention this for anyone who doesn't know. That is a rock that comes from a building that Mil Muertes was like unearthed from as a child.
It literally is the urn!
Yeah, she has the urn.
Wait a minute. Seeing some similarities.
Yeah, just imagine if Paul Bearer licked people's faces.
This is a legally distinct league, sir.
What a scene.
He's going to try another aerial assault on Meal. This match is promoted by our owner, Dario Cueto, as a death match. And Meal has just come back. Oh my God, away. But the last time he was in that position, he didn't have the troops that he has now. Oh, the kind of special life force that Phoenix hasn't absorbed in. No disqualifications, no count
He
out.
puts down the chair,
Goes, and that
picks it
plays
back
right
up.
into Mil Muertes' morbid, wicked wheelhouse. Wow. He's gonna...
And then throws it at the ref.
The man can jump. He's actually really
Muertes
good.
goes to the top rope, taking a high risk.
He can also take a jump.
Matt, this is looking to be more brutal, more dangerous than the last time these guys met. This is something that they're digging deeper into the darkness and they're pulling out things that we have not seen yet. No, 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 no. Send a message to the entire Lucha Libre world, and that seems to be what Muertes is fixing to do, but Phoenix still's got some fight in him. Oh, no. Matt, he's going to throw him off the perch. Matt,
Wait for it, boys.
They are high atop the temple here. Muertes looks like he's going for a power bomb. Radar. Mil Muertes is about to pull the plug.
Flatliner.
Good God.
The final death of Phoenix.
Until he comes back.
Yeah, you know, like the next
like 3
episode.
episodes. Yeah.
All right, so I forgot to play this earlier. I just wanted to share this with everybody. So back before Lucha, back when Mil was still Judas Macias in Impact, he had the greatest entrance, like the greatest debut match ever. So this is a fight between Kurt Angle and the Abyss.
On the Olympic gold medal. Wait a minute. What the hell? Again, you see that blade coming up from the man like we saw in No Surrender. That's great. Doesn't even realize it. Yeah, look how close Angle is to tapping out.
He literally crawls out of the mat.
Oh, here he comes. Oh my God. It's got to be Judas Macias. Doesn't even see it. This has to be the man that James Mitchell referred to as his son.
Where he got that blood from, no one knows.
Laced with barbed wire. That's a barbed wire rope.
And Kurt Angle just gets the fuck out of the ring.
Kurt Angle can't get out there fast enough.
He just dips out.
Wrapped around the neck of the monster Abyss, and he's just grinding it in. And look at the fear in Abyss's eyes.
Yeah. We can go through the rest of it, but it's basically just like Abyss getting glass pounded into his skull.
Makes his first appearance.
That was not meant to be a selling point, but it may have sounded like one.
That's gotta be. It's gotta be.
All right.
That looks like a pattern.
So, where are they now? Well, Mil is now wrestling for Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, the oldest lucha promotion in history. His new name, oh shoot, I left it out of the notes. I haven't actually seen him wrestle quite yet, so I can't remember his name offhand. He's got a new one. He'll be in I think this coming year, this year, he'll start showing up in a bunch of wrestling matches. Pentagon, as we mentioned before, is a brother of Phoenix. They are the Lucha Brothers.
We got one question back in the white back here.
Is this panel just reminiscing and discussions, or is there action?
Is there actually wrestling? Unfortunately,
yeah,
no.
we are legally not allowed to wrestle. They told us.
They did tell me something would happen to the ref when I came in.
Yeah, that I would get arrested. That's what would happen. All right, yeah, no, that I'm going through the screen apparently.
Bill goes by to see us in CMLL.
Does he really? Okay. Yeah, he's back, and he really does look like him. I've seen the promotion stills. So yeah, Phoenix, like we said before, he's in the Lucha Brothers again. They're both in AEW, which is pretty cool. You should check it out. All right. So we got like 10 minutes left, and I think that's enough time to cover these guys. All right, so...
It's our favorite time, guys. Let's talk about the jobbers.
We're
the hardest
the
one.
jobbers. These are not jobbers.
Oh, well, I mean, let's be real. They're jobbers.
We're going to talk about the Worldwide Underground, the greatest heels in wrestling. They're basically just a collection of fuck-ups, but like awesome fuck-ups.
There's 3 MBs.
Yes. Prince Puma is something we probably should have talked about. Where were you like 2 months ago when we submitted this? We had to pick something. We can't talk about like all 45 wrestlers.
Prince Puma is a fantastic wrestler, and everyone should investigate him. However, he doesn't have anything like relatively funny enough to include in this panel.
Yeah, it's a mystery. All right, Worldwide Underground is made up of 4 people. The first one, Johnny Mundo, the best pants in the game. He has many names, and we couldn't fit them all on the screen.
Yeah, please vote for your favorite Johnny Mundo name after this panel.
Yeah. He would have the best abs in the game, but Prince Puma beats him on that because I swear to God that dude has an 8-pack.
Finn Balor has the best abs in the game, don't have Dave Meltzer? Yeah. What about him?
He said he had better abs than Johnny Mundo.
He says a lot of things. He didn't have those abs in the Tokyo Dome, it doesn't count.
Things are heating up in the Johnny Mundo fandom.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fight, do it after the panel's over. Don't put this on us.
So Johnny was in WWE before Lucha. He was like a semi-famous kind of dude then. He's pretty famous now. He's back in WWE. His fighting style is officially listed as parkour-based, although I don't know what the hell that means. Like, he jumps off of things. But yeah, but so does everybody. He is the official mayor of Slamtown, according to his Twitter. And he has a film degree. This is true. He has a film degree from UC Davis, which he used to make this movie, which is amazing. Like,
just so you know, if you've not seen that movie, go watch it.
It's free on Amazon Prime.
The first couple minutes, he's chasing Kevin Sorbo through downtown LA.
Yeah, he literally
for a parking
tackles
ticket.
Hercules.
Deep cuts on that little vampires reference. Wow, deep cuts.
This is Taya, one of the 4. She is actually married to Johnny Mundo, both in mythos and in real life.
And she's hot.
She's pretty hot. She's the queen of the trailer park by her character in this show. Like, Taya Valkyrie is not really what she is here. They kept the Taya part. She has some kind of fighting style. It just kind of seems like a lot of screaming and slapping. It's not as good as when she's in, like, Impact, but... Sorry, what was that?
Nothing important.
Ah, okay. So she was pretty big in AAA before Lucha, and she's still I think she still does some AAA work, but she's mainly famous for Impact now. Yeah, she's like the longest reigning. I think it's Knockouts champ.
Yeah, the knockouts are in TNA.
I apologize. We have a question in the orange in the back.
Sorry, can I get the story behind the crotch lollipop? So if
Oh God.
Should I take that one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, no. So, just to keep things brief, the story of the crotch lollipop, you should look this up, is owned by a man named Joey Ryan, who has the strongest finishing move in modern wrestling today. Yeah.
None of us agree.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you, dude. He flipped Mick Foley with his dick.
Fuck you. You came here with a shark head. You didn't even buy a mask.
Just saying, man, I would gladly take that crotch lollipop.
I wish that I had a picture of what Joey Ryan looks like for everyone that doesn't know. He's just he starts every match by covering himself in baby oil, and he just wears like 80s like Speedos.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
Just pick your favorite handlebar mustache from the 80s. That was him.
His preferred winning strategy is to literally handcuff himself to the ring so he can't be pinned. Oh. All right, Jack Evans, as we've talked about before, is an unrepentant shitheel. Yes. We think he's just in this particular league. We're ignoring all the other stuff. We think he's just the evil twin of Angelico. Like they just stole each other's BMX equipment or some shit. He is also like really, really homophobic. And if you haven't identified this butt, you will see it shortly, and you'll understand why it just doesn't quit.
It is Sunny Kiss.
Make it happen.
Yeah. So he wrestled in a lot of leagues. He actually is tag team partners with Angelico later on. And they form a team that is, and I wish I had someone who spoke Spanish better than me to pronounce this. It's called, I'm going to try. Just like tell me I'm wrong and then tell me how to pronounce it. Los Güeros de Cielo. It's not in the slide. It's just in our notes. Los Güeros del Cielo. It means the white boys from heaven. Cielo, yeah. That is their tag team group name, which is an unfortunate name. And then the last guy, PJ Black. He's South African. He has no backstory.
Wow. I'm sorry, did you put the whole apartheid on that man? That was not all of his fault.
There's a reason for this caption, and you probably didn't know this because who the fuck follows South African wrestling? Apparently this guy. So he knows. His dad, PJ Black's actual real father, was like the main promoter for All-Star Wrestling, which was the big South African league during apartheid. And like his life story is kind of crazy. Like it's way more interesting than PJ Black, the character, who is a dude that owns a motorcycle. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, these promoters literally
Black,
whittle
the
it down to
Darewolf.
the gems.
Yeah. So this is his dad. He wrestled as the Pink Panther. And it's really hard to track down any of this shit because like it would have been recorded on Betamax in the like late 80s, early 90s. I mean, yeah.
Solid, yeah, solid.
But yeah, his dad was like a promoter for this league. He was like constantly bringing in new talent. And apparently, like one night somewhere in Johannesburg, he went to get like a new wrestler from their house. Because, you know, if you're in the independents, you're not doing so well financially. You're going to live in like a shitty place. So they go to somewhere in Johannesburg, get out of the car. Some fight happens and like PJ Black like watches his dad get shot in the head and die like right in front of him. It's kind of crazy. And he like there's a podcast where he talks about this stuff and like it's fascinating because when I watched Lucha, I didn't give a shit about him. He was like the worst character. He had no story. He was just like a dude. But his real life is crazy.
Was it a Jericho podcast?
Yes, I think it is, yeah. I think so. Shoot, I'm not on the Wi-Fi. I got the link if you want to come talk to me. I can show it to you. Yeah. All right, so before we get to that, we got some clips. We're just going to go through them real quick because I think we got like 2 minutes before they kick us out of here.
Well, hey, if they don't, just keep going.
All right, so we got... I'm gonna start with the best one, which is Jack Evans just getting like booty clapped.
Yeah, for those who don't know Sunny Kiss. Hey, it's not playing this.
Oh shit, 1 second. I did. Culero.
Hey,
we fucked up.
We made it till 2 minutes left before our visual fucked up.
No business being in the ring with Lucha's one true God!
Jack does not strike me as the type of guy to quit. Enzo has longer legs than Jack, and if these two are going to exchange kicks, that's going to come into play. Jeez. Nice head sit.
I'm not saying anything except that you're a gentleman, brother.
I think it moved.
Damn!
A flipping block.
Mistake with somebody with Jack's experience, I'm telling you.
That ankle's got to be good because Enzo is able to hit a back handspring into a slap. Jack gets baited in, drop toe hold.
Wow!
Exolicious with a head scissors.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Exolicious with a kick to the back of the head. Jack is down. Exolicious, new lease on life.
This is
Sam,
wrong.
Talk us through it.
This is wrong. If he doesn't, it's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. I can see it from here. It's gonna pop.
And Jack comes under.
For context.
And you can
context,
catch
that was-
both of those on AEW.
Yes, you actually can. So, for context, that was a no moss match in which you just had to basically say no more, like say uncle, and yeah, exactly.
No, it's a no moss match. Weren't you listening?
It's entirely different for legal reasons.
Hey, Moose.
We gotta wrap up shortly.
Oh, shoot.
All right.
Oh, yeah, we're at 2:30.
We've got one more thing to show you boys and girls.
Which one?
Actually, show us more.
I mean, we can if they let us. We have a bunch of clips.
Show one last clip to get to send us off.
All right. All right. The next one we'll show, maybe the last one, depending on how the staff treats us.
Girl, fire up, kid.
This is an episode in which Taya and Johnny actually get married in the ring, and like Matanza shows up and just like fucks everything up. This is the conclusion of that match.
Oh no.
Watch the wheelchair.
Why did she get married in a wrestling ring? Oh, because she's a wrestler, dude.
Yeah, you gotta remember.
Wrath of the gods on the bride-to-be.
Chekhov's cake.
What is going on?
Taya's already broken physically and emotionally. Why? Oh, man. Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, carnage has ensued. In the place of love and joy, we have blood and destruction. But then again, this is Lucha.
You're not old enough to see that. We're protecting your
Hey,
sensibilities.
the cake was not 18. Sorry. That's all you get, guys. Use your imagination.
No, it stays on. It's just kind of creepy and weird when you stare at it in an editing room for too long. It is very bukkake-ish.
All right.
Some guy had to go home to his wife after that. All right, like that.
Do we have a minute 30 that we can show one more thing? All right.
We have one more.
Just play it. Just play it.
Blue Demon, show us one more clip to send these people home.
All right, so it's got to be relatively short.
Baby face going over, I swear to God.
It's not a baby face. We're going to skip to our favorite jobber, Mr. Vinny Massaro. Seen here in the best promo slide he has ever gotten. He was just a jobber. He's been a jobber for literally 20 years.
Could he beat the Brooklyn Brawler?
Probably not. He couldn't. Because you're about to see him at his peak. And it's not pretty.
That I have no choice but to order you a pizza.
Hey, all right.
Look at Vinny. Oh!
Hey, Pizza Underground. Here we go.
Look at that. I thought it was a rib. You're kidding me.
Last time it had pepperoni on top. I wonder what's on top this time. Maybe Slim Jim?
Vinny, I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
It's pineapple!
We go. Vincenzo on the move, using the ropes for momentum, trying to get up ahead of steam here. What does Vinny have in mind? Trying to take down the big man. Vinny's really getting some steam going here, and yeah, it looks like the cholesterol is gonna. I recommend Crestor, Vin.
Wow. Oh, he's just in pain. He's in pain and he hasn't done anything.
Clogged arteries will do that to you. Vinny Massaro. Sacrifice right on the pizza.
So for our
Thank you
closing
guys for coming.
statement, that man literally dies on top of pizza.
And thank you for coming to Lucha Underground, a retrospective.
Have a
You've
great
all
rest of
been
your
beautiful.
MAGFest.
Enjoy your night.